Bing, here we go. Yes. So we're talking about doing some local support stuff, and I don't know, I rebooted Chrome, so I've lost all my whatsits. One thing I have just done, one thing that you've probably seen, what did I mention? We've got this Agile Ventures repo, which is like just old random stuff in it. So anyway, I put this, the discussion we were having yesterday about squashing commits or not squashing them. I tried to write that up here. And I wanted to just also put in placeholder for, what did we just use, website one, isn't it? We're talking about, voting on stories or not. So I just wanted to put, where's it gone? Lord. Coffee's just kicking in after my. I'm making a regular thing of having a post-lunch nap recently. I think I find it easier to cope generally. Are you finding? I mean, you're still a young person, aren't you? I think as I'm getting older, I'm needing. Eventually, I'll just be sleeping all the time, I guess.
Oh, really?
But I had pneumonia last year, and since then, I think my energy level has not necessarily returned to what it might be. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I think it was always the case that a bit of a nap and then a cup of coffee would perk me up. I sort of, I don't know, maybe delude myself that I'm more focused as a result of having a nap. Of course, sometimes when I oversleep, but like yesterday. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to put that in there as a placeholder, and I've also just set up. Thing. Yeah, there we go. So I've set up connection between AV Community Talk and the Agile Ventures thing. So that's nice. Yeah. So did you see some of the stuff I did on local support since yesterday? There was that one. I think I fixed the JavaScript things. Do you want to pull out develop and run locally for you and see if it all passes?
Sure.
So I went out for this meeting last night with Brian, who you sort of know from Agile Ventures, who was introducing me to this guy called Charles, who has got a background in sales and is like an older guy, like in his 50s or something. And he's also been working with charities, and he wants to he said, yeah, we should get Agile Ventures selling services to charities or building software for charities and stuff. And I might just switch networks. Does that still work? So that was interesting. I mean, and he seems like the kind of person who might actually be taken seriously by a larger charity, so we'll see. Anyway, it was an interesting conversation. He was mentioning, I think he's been looking at this, apparently these Raising IT people are basically offering websites and fundraising things to charities, but they have like some custom Cisco solution or what have you. And he's like, wow, you guys could do so much better than this and offer so much more. And anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to share your screen? I'm interested to see if I mean the annoying thing with the JavaScript. Is I made this change. If I can find it, local support. Here's local sports. Introduce this longer wait I have this. Was
Is
it?
it format summary? Is that the you want, right? For Qs. Format summary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Something not working for you there?
Ew.
Progress. Sorry, not summary. Progress. Drink coffee. Drink coffee. Oh, oh you black demon.
Turn this off. Amazon Music. Goodbye.
So yeah, I basically ended up wrapping this thing that for the login it uses wait time 10, and then I ran the CI 5 times and it passed every time. And so, I mean, if we were extraordinarily lucky, maybe that's the end of total random JS failures on LocalSupport.
So what did you do exactly? Oh, you put it.
I did. I added exactly this
Using wait time 10.
Yeah, apparently the default wait time is 2. And
that can be rejiggered in the
yeah,
config, I think.
Right, it can, but then it slows everything down.
In this use case, right?
This is the particular one that fails, so this means it just slows it down for this one a bit.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, we had a similar. I fixed the timeout issue with the graders. There were some similar things, and also the error seems to have been related to a person who's been programming in Java, not realizing that instance variables are not inherited in the same way in Ruby. But anyway,
you mean student?
Yeah,
that wasn't really an error.
Well, it's it was a nasty bug that affected a lot of people, and it seems. I mean, now the grade has been stable overnight. It seems that we've fixed it, but it's I don't know. I mean, it's deeply ironic that it's how small a fix it is, given the amount of trouble that it caused. Anyway, but so on WSO, we still got some intermittent failures, and that's something to look into. We also had this French guy, come back and with his usability analysis. Did you see that?
I haven't.
Which is relatively short. I don't know if it's like it's just his first pass, but he added a few things. But so interesting start. Anyway, yeah. So we had the client meeting for LocalSupport, and Rachel was like, yeah, she'd love to have this, and also, yeah, she's very interested. Please, what's the idea about? I mean, that we could post
to do it.
Yeah, and I've got like the do it stuff here, so you can, this is the API thing. Anyway, and I think she also mentioned again about pulling in from different, like other networks, and pulling it in, and yeah. So we've got this branch we were working on, weren't we, which sort of turned into a spike now.
Yep.
And got a bit bogged down. I mean, we've got this.
I wonder if I pushed.
You're right.
I said, I wonder if I pushed actually. I might not have pushed my latest. Let me push that.
Oh, did you do some more work on it since?
No, I mean, I did it Tuesday or whenever we dropped it, but I don't think when I was looking, it wasn't the latest commit on the GitHub branch, so.
Right.
I think I may not have pushed it to upstream. I might have pushed it to my origin.
Okay.
So once this queue's run,
Marcelo just came online. You know, I before the client meeting, I tried to take a pass through the pull requests and things. So there's sort of like this side issue related to the validations, which I was sort of investigating, which feels like it needs cleared up, but I don't know. It's not. It's it's not the. I don't know. It's far more interesting to work on this organization with volunteer ops. Don't worry about email validation. And I think this listing there.
there I just switched. Yeah, go on.
I was going to say I feel like the email validations can sit there for a bit longer. I think this sort of snarl up with the volunteer ops, make we ideally to sort of allow other people to kind of move forward. We need to what are these, the DB schema things? I don't know. Anyway, what I'm trying to spit it out, Sam, is that if we can fix this up, I think it means that then other people can start work on other bits and pieces.
Sure.
But yes, so what was some of the discussion with Rachel today is that she was saying, oh yeah, it'd be great for organizations to be coming out of Do It and into our system, but obviously there are more complications and decisions to be made if we display that on the front end. So if that just stays on the back end in the first instance, that's one way to go. It's like, I guess what's the best approach to move forward with this?
Right. Well,
so, go on.
Do you think that we should import the organizations? Also,
I think ultimately that's going to be something of potential value. I think that but we want to try and move forward in relatively small steps.
Sorry, you're.
Oh dear.
Right.
We want to move forward in relatively small steps, I think. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear
you. We're in the Refactor Do It VolOps active record branch, aren't we?
Yeah, I know, but I'm looking for something that Marion and I had done.
Oh, sure. No, I'm just trying to remember which pull out that latest code that you pulled up. I wasn't looking at your screen. So I feel like where we got to in the interface. Yeah. I think what I did like about what we did so far was that at least we kind of pulled out the build markers thing, unpackaged it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm not very happy with it at the moment. I mean, the way it's broken up. And you're right. I think because you were making those changes, weren't you, to volunteer? Yeah. So we had this. We've got this thing. So is this actually working now? Do we think?
What?
This see this?
Potentially.
Yeah. Because I think I was reflecting at the end of our last session on this that it seemed like single table inheritance was the way to go.
Yeah.
But I wonder here if we can just get, because this is kind of not actually working completely at the moment. I mean, it's not throwing errors, but in the system here, we get like one icon over here, and if I click on that, it goes nuts. And you know, the pop-up's not working. The way that we were attacking this was from some volunteer ops, like the do it thing, and you had, yeah, we've been, I mean, there's this other piece of work which is like the import job that needs to be able to run and insert stuff into the database. I guess what I'm tempted to do now, and push me in a different direction if you think, is I'm just tempted to kind of get into these partials and look at what these partials are doing. Just even to fully, you might already feel, you know, solid on that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay. So we've got these partials. Let's get into the views, which in here, okay. So we've got two different things here. We've got, one is the info window. And so we're basically creating that out of this partial.
Correct. That's the thing when you click on it, it pops up.
Yeah. And so
Go on.
this is relying upon a few different bits and pieces coming through it like that. So at the moment, I mean, and what we're sort of doing here is a spike where we're sort of adjusting this so it becomes a volop instead of an org.
Yeah.
So I could just follow on by saying, okay, that's a volop. So there's a volop, its title instead of that. Oh, no, okay, wait a sec. So this is for do it. This is where it's supposed to link to the organization, isn't it? So, and then we've got our, is the schema now updated? What we've called all the things in, come on. The schema, yeah, now has this. So
Do it org name, right?
Right. So that would be volop org name. And then, so that would be do it org link. And then this would be, this is already volop something.
That would be vol up.
Yeah.
And up there is vol up. Vol up, yeah.
Yeah. And then this is going to be here, this is going to be title. And then here, this is going to be the do it. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? That looks like what it should look like.
Yes.
Now.
I'm wondering why the map doesn't show yet.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I'm imagining.
If you go into Rails console.
Go to the Rails console.
Yeah, just go to the Rails console. Because you're running that from
Develop, yeah.
development, right?
You want to see like a list of the volunteer ops or something?
Yeah. Just try doing volunteer op. .all.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that? That's, I mean, these are just regular vol ops, right?
Yeah, these are like, this is like taken off the production system, a clone of it. So community car driver screen, description, organization ID, and then it's got like source, local, do it, op link, nil. Yeah, looks.
So if you type volunteer op .first .latitude, what do you get?
Nil.
You get a nil. That's interesting. So apparently our fix is not working.
Right. I mean, I guess it feels to me it's like it almost feels here like we're trying to. I mean, I think ultimately single table inheritance is the right way to go. The simple fix here is just to like we can ask. In each case, is this nil? right? And if it is nil, then we can go to the org. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a nasty hack, but just for us to kind of see if we can get the different pieces talking to each other, right? This has, by doing it outside of the volop, this has the effect that we want, right?
I think it will.
Yeah. And then in principle, this could be removed. Oops, let me just do that. And so if we've done that, there's also
It might be that the after create hook is
not
I'm
being
not sure when that's actually ran. Is that
yeah? I mean, I don't know. I would have thought it was run from the all there, but anyway, let's just update. So this one here, it's right.
I guess the question would have been to put a debugger in there and see if it got hung there.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it's kind of that it's sort of ugly and that it superficially didn't seem to be working. I'm kind of, and I feel like that there are errors in here that will cause other problems. Now, interestingly, here, does it all go on anyway? We've got, if we pass in this thing, so we've got volop, it would be organization.
And
it's because it referred to it there as title, which I would have thought wouldn't have worked. But anyway, organization dot name. So that would listen to the organization, and then this bit's now, not relevant anymore. At least, yeah. I mean, what I feel like in the first instance is that we kind of lose the list, but we can always add that back in later. So there, then that would be volop title volop. Okay, so that's these pop-ups, and then we've got this marker JSON here, where we're rendering a shared custom marker, and that's just doing image tag attributes.
I think ultimately, though, like I was saying before,
Go on.
We should move towards a system where we're mapping locations rather than
Oh, totally agreed.
things in the database.
Yeah, I think that's yes. I mean, it's an interesting question about that then, about whether we need to extract the location model. But I definitely want to try and kind of clean the get our domain model cleared up in that regard. I'm just looking. Why do we need? I guess this is just giving us like a sort of a mouse over and a particular. I see. Okay, I'm just surprised there that like this custom marker there is like this single line thing for which we're pulling in a partial. Do you know what I mean? Like, it seems funny that like the text inside this file is actually almost less than the text needed to define it.
Well, that's because it depends on whether it's all up or not.
Well, in this thing for yeah, I don't know that I entirely follow that, but anyway, this at least that looks like that should in principle work.
I mean, we were just passing. That's just an image tag, right?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So we've got it working again.
Cool.
And we end up with only one opportunity for that. Although interestingly, actually, given that if we know that this is the local one, if we've got the organization in here, we could, in principle, yeah, look, we could just do this, and then we get them all back. Ha ha. Sorry, I'm amusing myself here.
Yep.
Okay. Right. So then we have a working sort of spike there with a new, completely unpacked version of the thing that doesn't rely upon build markers, or at least it doesn't rely on a custom build marker. It's just using the GMap for Rails build markers, and we're not using any service.
Yep.
Is that right? The markers is being set to that JSON. It's rendering the index page, and we add now this is our base functionality at the moment. I just wonder here. But
now we have to support vol ops from do it.
We do. I'm just wondering what parts of the thing break at the moment. I mean, some of these may be purely related to. Did I delete the build markers on there? No, it's still there. Well, we're just look. So what is that? And then
Harrow. So there's still a reference to Harrow in the marker and the
in the spec
somewhere partial being referenced.
Yeah. So that's, and what's this related to? And now these failures here, this is on like view specs. So I would be, and I would be tempted here to just delete this view spec.
Really?
Yeah, because I think I've had it with view specs.
And the org specs are probably just me commenting out that validations.
Yeah. I guess we can put that in. Why did we need to comment that out?
To get the seed to run correctly.
Oh, okay. Right.
Because that's a separate.
Yeah, that's another issue, isn't it? Zah. Okay.
So probably if you run specs again, it'll be clean.
Yeah, I'll just run that one there. Yeah.
And see where you're at with the.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the next thing that we would need to do, which would be to come back to this thing, is that we need the job to be able to run. We need to be able to import that set of data, stick it in there, and then in principle the that other thing would start working. So let's just see where we are. And I assume with the Cucumber that, I mean, if we're lucky, this should all work for the volunteer stuff, like the map view and the listing, but the do it will fail. The interesting question will be if a lot of other things fail. But okay, well, so maybe this ends up being, there's a way out of this maze. There's an early exit. I mean, we could even swap, and you could start working on this one if you wanted to. Just thinking it could rotate with more frequency, but you know, yeah. So here, like we've got this existing service, which is the list volunteer opportunities that, yeah, we were talking about yesterday, weren't we, or the day before? And this just needs to insert into the database rather than rather than return them as a list. And I guess my temptation here would be to spike this rather than writing a test driving and the service or job. Okay, so we've got okay, so there's various places where it's now missing pop-up arrow as well. Undefined method. Yeah.
So why is latitude undefined? Huh.
Well, that's because well, that's interesting. I don't know why. I was just going to go. Let's have a look for that. Why is it trying to view the pop-up arrow? There's clearly some other places where pop-up arrow is in there. So let's just do a
find and replace.
Yeah. No occurrences. What?
I can't. Well,
If I guess it might be being constructed dynamically in other places.
Dynamically being constructed.
Yeah. Where's that controller?
One place, right?
Well, we've got this. Maybe build map markers is still being called in.
Oh, right there. Look, type.
This one.
Line 78.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is the old build map. I'm just wondering, where's this? Is that old build map markers? So the show page is calling that build map markers.
Yeah.
I mean, what I could do here
is make that the new build map marker.
Yeah. I mean, what should happen here is that should be local rather than Harrow. I mean, yeah, for all that set to work, that needs to be pulled out there. I mean, I guess I can. Does that automatically do to JSON on the end of it? Well, that's what this.
I mean, if you change
marker
that
build thing
of Harrow, it'll probably work, right? You change the default argument.
Yeah, I'm also I'm almost tempted though to kind of be really just kind of come in here. I mean, the show page there. That's interesting. It's like grabbing the first organization.
Not sure whether that's going to work. I mean, you could just.
I mean, I think it almost seems here like this is I mean, I can see that there's a lot of sort of hacks going on, various sorts of hacks going on in here.
Someone just posted something on complaining about. Rajiv said that it worked for him. DBC. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, well, he may have a fix. Like he was working on a fix for it.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, he should definitely make a pull request. Yeah. Can you reply to his? Well, I guess he's asking me, isn't he? Yeah, definitely. Always make a pull request. Yes, please. So I'm just like the show one here now. Yeah, so I'm doing that, and it doesn't need that organizations. Have I accidentally deleted something from the beginning there?
Wait, so
go on.
Why are we doing this? Why don't we just change the argument?
Well, the build markers is using this intermediate service, which we've kind of extracted out, and I just I'm suspicious of the way in which the entire thing has been refactored, and so in the same way that we've sort of popped this back into here, I feel like let's put it back into there. I mean, I noticed then we've got it in edit as well. I mean, it's clearly something that needs to be refactored. What I would like to do is have it in the 3 different places,
so we can see.
Yeah, and then sort of redo the refactoring subsequently. With our hopefully more advanced knowledge on this occasion. And that one should be that's perhaps the first one. Edits. There you go. Let's see if that helps with this one, for example. Right. So we've got 3 places. We've got the show, the edit. I'll do that. There's other tests that will. I think I do want to remove that. There we go. Onto ops control line 28. Oh, what am I doing? Ridiculous. Now that should be ID, shouldn't it?
This is the old
what's this? Undefined local for the organizations does need to be like that. Okay. All right, this is the old what, sorry?
I was saying that this is the idea that you have to give yourself permission to create duplication.
Yeah, indeed.
Before refactoring.
Yes, yes. Now, interesting, here we've got this on the undefined method latitude for volunteer op. But so I guess there's the issue. Now, where is that coming from? Volunteer ops control line 35. Ah.
That's interesting.
Huh.
Can you put a debugger in there and run that particular?
Yeah, let's have a look at the individual one. So we've got on line 34, and that hits us. They're both hitting in the same place.
We'll put a debugger in first.
We'll do. Onto ops control line 35. So that's here. Okay. So volop. No, it's got ops lung ops lat, which I'm slightly surprised to see, as I thought we'd change that to latitude and longitude, and we have. And I guess that's my
database. In test database is not the.
Yeah, probably. So what's that? That's like
test prepare.
It says that's. It feels like
it says it's deprecated, but it works.
Yeah, wondering what the recommended, new one should be. Oh, it didn't even tell me it was didn't tell me it was deprecated this time. Okay. That passed. I think I need to get a Mac keyboard. Hold on. Okay. So, where was that? But you think? Have you heard the idea of allowing yourself to replicate for later refactoring somewhere in particular?
Yeah, I heard it from Sandy Metz.
Did you? Interesting. Yeah.
She gave a talk at a conference.
Yes. Yes. I said
that you, at any point in time, you're the most ignorant that you ever will be.
Right. Well, and I think that, I mean, there's a thing I say that I haven't heard other people say, which is that every time that you try something out, you're also introducing, you know, oh, I forgot what it is that I say. What do I say? When you try something out, you're also introducing a dependency.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
to be honest, I like in all the time at Makers Academy, I don't think I managed to convince anybody strongly about that. I don't know. I didn't get the sense that any of these coders were kind of. I mean, I think the students got it sometimes, but there was kind of like a no, we have to like. They were so on the kind of drawing stuff out up front, and I was kind of
I
like,
think drying out is like an instruction that's given to
yeah,
people that are novices because it's like easy for them to see replication.
mm.
So it's something that you can do.
Yeah, and
That's,
I think you can do too much of it, and I think it's you know, you've got to balance doing it against, you know, getting stuff done. I was hoping that was going to be all green, but anyway, we missed something. What have we got now?
I mean, the argument for it is that duplication is a kind of dependency and that you have to change.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Although, you know, sometimes two different things need to go separate ways, in which case they need to be able to vary. So, I mean, yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's like if you've got one thing somewhere and when you need to change it, you do need to update it in all those places. That's then a problem. But actually, if you only want to change one of those things and not have the other ones vary, then that's an advantage. Actually, so I think this is actually failing in all the right places now. This is on the you know, the do it task there. So in principle, this is all working and it's ready for the next task.
Sounds good.
So I could commit
Pass it.
that and pass it over to you.
Mm-hmm.
So finishes up spike for what is this? This is for the non-do it follow-ups. Okay. And I think this branch is definitely what, because it's got really messy, is one where we'll want to experiment with squashing commits. Okay, if you want to pull that out. Yeah, so you want to run all the tests there locally. I'm just going to step away for a second. I will be back momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
There's a approximately green for you.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's 5. That should be like 5 failures related to the do it ops.
Correct.
So I noticed in website 1, they have a separate folder for jobs separately from services, which I haven't seen elsewhere.
Okay, so we're running that, and then
Yeah, so so we need to go now into like the lib tasks and actually make the. Oh, no, you've made it.
That's interesting. Like, why is
Well, oh no, right, there is a. Oh, what was the error saying? It does not how to don't know how to build task.
Yeah, I understand that, but
Oh no, I was reading it myself. Yeah, go on. What's
there's
up?
one error saying line 14.
Yeah, no, well, that's because like there's somewhere it's expecting to see 17. I mean that like.
I'm wondering why that didn't fail in the background, though.
Well, I think there's one that doesn't do that in the background, or does it not? No, that is confusing.
Because that step.
Well, it implies that feature 14, the feature on line 14 is not. What's it on 14? It says, and I should see 17.
The background,
not doing the background,
which is weird.
Weird.
That really doesn't make sense to me.
No. But that doesn't change what we need to. What's weird there is that you have created the kind of stub of the import do it rake task, but it's still saying it doesn't know how to build that task. Like,
yeah.
If I run rake db import _ do it from the command line, it works.
So apparently it can't be run more than once. Is that what I'm saying here? Because look, here it's green.
Yeah.
And it gets to here, but then in the next scenario it fails on that. So what if I run it?
Try running one of the other ones that failed individually.
Yeah.
I would be suspicious of 16, but
no, 16 is the one that failed previously.
Yeah, try that the last one.
43.
Yeah,
should be. I think it's going to fail on this other step.
Oh, sure, but well, yeah, that's yeah, that you're right. That's weird.
So it's implying that the import job, we're going to have trouble running it the way that that's written.
That's
more than once in a queue.
Right. That seems kind of strange that there should be such a restriction. I just want to find the step definition of. It's probably you put it at the top of volunteer
op steps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do volunteer opportunities.
I mean, we're defining like some instance variables here. I wonder if that has an impact on it.
Could, yeah.
I mean, it seems to me that I don't think there's any reason why
we couldn't change this to
just make them local variables for the moment.
See if that helps. Although that was copied from another step.
Yeah. But that may have had some other requirements.
So, no, we're still failing in the same.
Well, there is that. I think we do have the other way to do it, which is to like basically do it in a separate thread.
But then we don't know when it's actually done, right?
I don't know. I think we can wait for it to finish.
Okay, so how do we do that?
I'm just trying to find, like there. It's this thing here. It's the last element in 562. Sorry, 562. In basic steps, we've got an existing task which we can just use. We don't need our new step definition. We can just say, you know, given I can run the rake task, name of task, and it will just run it.
Oh. Let me actually go look at that step definition. And it's on 562.
At the very end of basic steps, the last thing in there.
So we're setting an expectation, and then that's.
Yeah, and I think it'll wait until.
It'll wait on it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I go back and I say.
I mean, I don't know if it will block, but so there's the category import feature has, interestingly, it doesn't have any steps after it, but it has a given I can run the rake task bundle exec rake db cat org import. So I think you would need bundle exec rake db, whatever the full name of like running it from the
exec rake.
Yeah, there you go. And I think it's import underscore do it was the one you.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess save it and run and see if it at least gets it around that. I'm surprised that we can't. I don't know if there's something that we can't re-import the same thing.
Okay, so it looks like it is getting us past that.
Yeah, I mean, we may later on have an issue with it not having completed, but in principle, yeah. So in principle, the next I'm gonna need to stop for the hangout, the stand up, but so the task, if we in the import do it.rake task could just be to call this service and we kind of like we smash up the service to do the thing we want and get these acceptance tests passing without worrying about the service test. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Let's go into.
So I think you want lib.
Yeah, that's right, lib.
So my throat's a bit scratchy. There you go. Yeah, so just in there, we could have like, I mean, this task would be like, in camel case, import do it volunteer opportunities. And I guess dot. Well, the way that we've been doing it is with this dot wib. I guess it could be just dot run.
Or just.
I don't think there are any parameters we need to pass.
Now, obviously, that's going to fail because that doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're going to do.
So then I think what we should, there's the list volunteer opportunities, and you could refactor the name of that and change it to be.
Import.
Yeah, do it volunteer opportunities.
Do we care to change the spec right now? The service spec to require this new.
I guess. I mean, we'll need to. Yeah, why not? I mean, we'll need to be changing that like
Some point, right? Is this actually what I'm doing? Import do it volunteer opportunities.
I mean, the way I've got it set up in the thing at the moment is it has, you know, all this dependency injection going on.
Right.
It won't need the listener or the organizations anymore, or it could still be this, you know, it could still have the dependency injection for the HTTP party. So in principle, you could
do dot with dot.
Yeah, I mean you could do dot with. I mean, it's an interesting thing there in the absence of a. Well, you could with the with you don't need the dot run even. Yeah. You can just do with. I mean that then reads a little more strangely, but let's go with it for the we're spiking. So, and so if that's saved, and then if you go back to the thing and just delete the first three, yeah, exactly. And then, you know, make the associated changes with that. Yeah.
So then we're going to get rid of these adder readers, right?
Yeah, we'd still have the HTTP one. But yeah, exactly the same pattern of removing those three things.
Remove these three things.
Yeah. And then basically, for this, we can strip out the stuff related to markers. We still want the majority of. Anyway,
is there a reason that we're using send here?
That's because the if you look, the initialize is in private.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah, I remember we hacked that before.
I mean, the interesting thing here is, I mean, what this does is this reduces the. It means that the collaborating objects can't create arbitrary instances of this service. They have to call it.
Yeah, we refactored this like a month ago now. I remember.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, the stand-up's coming up. Feel free to carry on with that, or we'll carry on after the stand-up.
All right.
I think it's relatively straightforward, the next step. But yeah. Anyway, I'll stop the broadcast there and start a new hang up for the stand-up.
Okay.
Cool. Speak to you in a minute.